Hi, I'm Oscar Fry. This time I'd like to talk about your job. I'd like to ask you if you know what your real job is. Is it that 8-hour job we get paid for, or the other pro bono job we have the remaining 16 hours of the day plus weekends and no vacation? That is our permanent life job we have, consisting of managing ourselves, our family, meeting friends and other loved ones, and dealing with everything else that can happen in your life. What's the most important job? The one that we do with our mind, the mind job, or the one that we do with our heart, the life job? The life job has no time to lose. It starts right away when you're in the womb and your growing brain starts to receive all kinds of signals from and through your pregnant mother: emotions, sounds, voices, laughter, music. And so your job starts. You interact by moving around, staying quiet, or kicking the walls. Then over the next years, you must realize that you were born as a human being on this planet, floating somewhere in space, and with a life expectancy of around 80 years. You find out basically that you're trapped in a body, alive, for a definite amount of time, before the show shuts down. That's a pretty hard awakening when you realize that at first. I remember I thought about that when I was around 20. Next to starting earlier, the life job runs late too, to the end of your life. It has no vacations, no breaks, and no retirement. And then you must deal with all the existential questions too. It's a tough job. So in life, you must learn to walk, to talk, to read, to write, to study. You go through high school, college, university, be a wife or a husband, a parent, and then when you finally get the job you wanted, the show really starts. Up to now, you were just warming up. Just imagine for a minute. You got that job. You work hard. You study more. You're doing great. You're very dedicated. You're very successful. But you work too hard. You neglected your work-life balance. You're only 45 and you got a heart attack and you just die. That's it. Your life ends right there. It happens every day. Do you believe that at that very tragic moment, all the good that you were capable of in your life, your expressions of love, of care, of kindness, of friendliness, of compassion, and all the efforts and sacrifices you made, studying and working, that it all vanishes just like that? That nothing of the incredible enterprise that we call life perdures after death? It just doesn't sound logical to me. Just think about it, if you will. What do we say to people that struggle their whole life with very difficult circumstances? A life of hardship and suffering, and still make it through. We say in the end, you will just die. You will have gained nothing. You go back to nothing. All you did out of love even is meaningless. Well, to the people that made it through hardship and suffering, we say that their efforts are seen and recognized, that a warm welcome will await them, for they probably advanced greatly, paying the bills that had to be paid in cash with their own sweat and tears. Although their earthly life might have been miserable, from above it will most likely be seen as fruitful, their efforts counterbalancing previous actions, clearing the way for a better next life. This is the sense I make of it. If we don't believe that, then what's there to live for? There would be no reason to continue living when our life becomes too difficult. When you believe all the good you did will go up in smoke in the end, why continue? Well, we do continue because that's what people do. Even when everything is difficult and we are struggling, still, and fortunately, we have the inner voice that tells us to continue, not to give up. We know that at a deeper level that we must keep trying because we are part of something divine, something universal, and that somehow our stories continue. So, when you have difficulty believing things that seem strange or out of reach, you can just look and analyze that what you can see, like we just did, your own life, and ask yourself if you find it reasonable to believe that after a whole life of learning, of making efforts and sacrifices, that nothing is to be taken along. Think about it. Thank you for your precious time and attention. See you next time. Bye.